Hindi naman nabahagi yung buntot ng prosecution
Could you use the mic, please?
Attorney, hindi naman po, siguro, how would the prosecution counter potential perception na nabahagi yung buntot ng prosecution in dropping Zuleika Lopez from its witness list?
I think a case sinks or swims with the evidence. There can be overpresentation of evidence, but here in the case of Attorney Zuleika, as I said, Attorney Lopez and Captain Belinda Bello, I did say that the more than 4 days of direct examination, cross-examination, plus the probing and clarificatory questions of the senator judges, hindi na kailangan rendered, unnecessary, surplusage, redundant, any testimony of both, no? Kasi the testimony, when you present a witness, you start with offer of testimony. And in our offer of testimony, if the purpose for getting Attorney Zuleika as a witness was first for 3 reasons. First, to confirm that she was personally present during the live broadcast of November 23, 2024. That was not necessary anymore because the defense themselves showed the video of her crying in the detention center, so that became moot and academic. The second purpose was for her to confirm that the Vice President uttered their statements in front of herself and in front of media. Again, that became totally unnecessary because of the statements of Attorney Vinluan. Remember, he made a 4.5-minute speech the last time, and in that speech, he mentioned, and I counted, more than 10 times, that the Vice President was there, that she made this statement in front of the media asked and all that. So that second purpose also became moot and academic. And lastly, on the issue of authenticity, hindi na kailangan yon because the very same video that we used is the video that they used, no? So hindi na at issue yung authenticity at saka yung provenance, yung source ng videos that we presented. Si Captain Bello naman was just supposed to attest to the fact that she personally knows the Vice President and Attorney Lopez, and that they were both in the detention center and she was the one who served the transfer order. But hindi naman disputed fact that na-serve ang transfer order because that was what preceded the press conference.
Categorically lang, attorney, hindi naman natakot ang prosecution kay Attorney Zuleika sa kung ano man pwede niyang sabihin sa impeachment court.
I mean, you know me. I was supposed to handle Attorney Zuleika. How do you pronounce it?
Zuleika.
Attorney Zuleika. Attorney Lopez na lang. I was supposed to handle Attorney Lopez and made a judgment. And upon the control and supervision of the public prosecutors, it really became unnecessary. And those of you who know me, and I see many familiar faces here, know that hindi ako maatras at all. In fact, I kill a mosquito with an atomic bomb. This was not necessary here.
So you can confirm, attorney, hindi natakot ang prosecution kay Zuleika Lopez?
Ask and answered, Your Honor.
Okay po. Sige, and lastly, wala naman po naganap na backdoor negotiations, hindi naman umapela ang defense sa inyo internally, privately, na huwag nyo nang kunin si Zuleika?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, I don't know Attorney Lopez personally. We have cordial relations with the defense counsels, and there was never a discussion on whether to present her or not, or any accommodation to be made as regards her presence here in the Senate. So the direct answer to your question is no, there was no backdoor channeling and walang atras. If you saw social media, sabi nga nila, may bagyong Sara. Inday, bagyong Inday. May bagyong Inday na. Alam mo niyo naman, lumipas na yung bagyong Inday na yan. Tapos na. Typhoon Josie na ngayon. So, wala nang strength.
Josie? Thank you, ma'am. Regarding lang po again dun sa pag-drop po kay Zuleika, hindi po ba meron ding part on, some lawmaker or lawyers are saying na baka makasira pa, makasama pa sa prosekusyon, na isa lang pa nga po, ito si Atty. Zuleika, lalo't they're saying na mukhang nakuha nyo naman na kumbaga itong article of grave threats.
No, we were not concerned about whether we could face cross-examination questions both from the defense and the senator judges, because here we stand on the strength of what are the facts, what is the evidence, and as we have often said, that it has nothing to do with a belief that there are biased senator judges who will act as defense counsels, because we believe that the senator judges are faithful to their oath of political neutrality and an impartial justice. No? So, hindi po kami natakot na baka may possible cross-examinations which will antagonize or which will embarrass the prosecutors. No?
Ma'am, si Vice President Sara Duterte po, meron po siyang statement. Ang sinabi po niya, yung day for the impeachment trial, the country witnessed, sinasabi po niya what she has been saying all along, the complaint is not supported by evidence, repeatedly claiming that there were threats when none existed, inventing an assassin where there was none, and fabricating evidence to support those claims does not transform fiction into fact. Ano po ang inyong komento tungkol po dito sa pahayag ni VP Sara?
Alam mo, these are all matters of defense, but matagal na ninyo nakita both ang testimonial at saka ang documentary evidence ng prosecution. Matagal na yan, since last year and recently sa House Committee on Justice. All the evidence of the prosecution is transparent. What is not transparent here is the evidence of the defense, because ang sabi nila, they would not participate in the House hearings because this is the proper venue. But so far, we have not seen any evidence coming from the defense. Ang evidence lang nila ay kung kahapon, madami daw typo, no? Marami daw typographical errors yung investigation report na present ng dalawang NBI agents, principally si Atty. Lotok. Yun lang ang nasabi nila. So far, when we are talking here about serious matters like, did she do it? Did she utter it? What did she really mean? Yun, is this really an impeachable offense? We want to really hear from the Vice President or the Vice President's team. Right now, what we're hearing lang is, madami namang typo errors itong report na to. What kind of a defense is that?
Kanina rin po, minalit din ni Congressman Terry Ridon itong defense team ni VP Sara. You're entitled naman daw to your opinion. Pero just wanna follow up lang po, clarify lang na hindi pa tapos ang grave threats article. Monday po, isasalang si Atty. Melvin Matibag.
Yes.
And tama po, ma'am, sino, if you can just, give us some tips, sino pa po ba yung mga isasalang natin sa susunod na linggo?
No, we have to evaluate after Atty. Matibag, because meron kaming, in all of the articles, meron kaming reservation. No? Reservation as to additional witnesses and additional documentary evidence. So you will know by Tuesday, because the prosecution or both sides, the prosecution is required to give notice to the court, to the presiding officer, and to the impeachment court every Tuesday. A list of witnesses for the coming week, because kung meron kaming request for subpoena, they want that subpoena would be issued on a Wednesday. No? So who the next witnesses are after Attorney Matibag, you will know on Tuesday.
Ma'am, good evening. Earl Tobias from IBC News. Ma'am, you said, you manifested kanina on the Senate Impeachment Court na na-establish na-admit na rin ng defense camp mismo na meron talagang grave threats na ginawa ang Vice Presidente. For the prosecution, may I just get the stand again that the grave threats is already established and hence hindi na kailangan i-present yung testimonya ni Ma'am Zuleika Lopez and the others?
Yeah, because it is their own admission, no, that there was really the statements made. The statement made by the Vice President during that press conference that she did hire someone to kill. No? If that is not grave threats, then what is it? No? Ang sinasabi lang nila, sinabi nga niya yun, pero hindi yun ang intention niya. That they're saying that the prosecution has read intention other than what was intended by the Vice President. But that is a matter of defense. When a person threatens you, an ordinary citizen threatens you, there are consequences. Narinig niyo naman kanina, somebody who threatened the former president was arrested because he did threaten. No? Whether he had resources to pay 150 million or in another case 50 million, that was beside the point. The point was the threat was made. And that is exactly here, regardless of the motivation, regardless of the interpretation, the utterance by itself and the statement that a person was hired to kill. There is no such thing as conditional threat. Sabi ng dalawang witnesses namin, there is absolute threat. And this afternoon you saw the statement of the President and how he reacted. He said, this cannot happen in a democracy. This cannot happen under the rule of law. You cannot threaten, not himself, but institutions. When you threaten the government and the presidency, you are threatening the very stability and security of a nation. And that was very clear in the statement of the President. So there are laws that say you cannot do that. In fact, what they have tried to do, and we are very appreciative that binalik sa discussion ang impeachable offense because pinag-uusapan na prison correctional. Dapat MTC daw tong kasong to kasi grave threats and inciting to sedition, MTC lang yan, Metropolitan Trial Court, tsaka Regional Trial Court. There is a deliberate attempt to misinform the viewing public. This is not a criminal case. Yung criminal case, oo, pending yan sa NBI. One count of sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. That is the criminal case pending before the DOJ. And that was what the defense focused on, the criminal case. Teka, ang layo naman ng pending criminal case sa DOJ. Yung 1 count of sedition na yan, tsaka yung 3 counts of grave threats, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay hindi yung criminal cases na yan. We are talking about fitness. A public official who makes statements like that, who has shown her emotional instability, who has shown how she can and is capable of carrying out her threats. What is that? Is that punishable by 6 months imprisonment?
Ma'am, last from my end. So if the defense would insist that there's no threat present, the burden of proof now shifts on them.
Well, the defense should prove their defense. The prosecution we will prove our case. We will prove. They said, "Oh, you don't have evidence." But those are words. We have already shown how many? 19 documents in evidence. Attorney Calilong, although his credentials were asked. Ano ba yung credentials nitong witness? 3 beses tinanong, ano ba yung credentials mo? Finally, it was concluded that although he is not an expert witness, he is a competent witness. And Attorney Calilong, nakita niyo naman, was able to show that authentic yung video and that yung provenance, yung source na video, in fact, walked us through this electronic evidence. May kahabaan lang because iba ang rules and evidence natin. Iba ang proving electronic evidence. There is a step-by-step process. No? Through him, his testimony credible. He even attested to the fact that this is not AI-generated video. No? Yung second witness naman, si Attorney Lotok, credible rin. No? And through him, we presented 45 documents, 19 of which have been marked, the rest have been unmarked kasi attachments to the investigation report. No? So, when they say there is no evidence, wait a minute. These documents are not evidence. These 2 credible witnesses, competent witnesses, are not evidence. And there will be more coming. There will be more coming in this article on grave threats and inciting, which is culpable violation of the Constitution and betrayal of public trust, and the 3 other grounds for impeachment. Mas marami pa silang makikitang evidence. Sana naman, pag puro typo error, no, ang evidence ng defense.
Ma'am, just a quick clarification. I'm playing devil's advocate lang. Kasi baka some people might say na the prosecution wasn't serious in their plan to present Attorney Zuleika Lopez. Kumbaga parang tinesting the waters lang. Is this the case or talagang you planned to have Attorney Lopez presented kaso magiging redundant na?
Yes, exactly. We don't bluff. This is not a bluffing game. This is not a poker game. This is not a chess game. This is not a game. This is a serious matter. When we say we will present, we will present. When we say it is not necessary, it's not necessary. Why waste the time of the court? As you can see, the court had become impatient on repeated questions on documents na hindi naman naintindihan ng publiko yung mga questions. No? I heard some say in social media na napaka-slow-paced and boring. Kulang na lang magbenta ng popcorn dyan sa labas para we'll stay in our place. No? It is difficult to sit down. Try sitting down for 6 hours. Siyempre, masakit sa puwet yun, di ba? And that is why the senator judges are saying, please, please, look at your evidence, see how you can streamline, see how you can avoid legal calisthenics, see how you can avoid this debate on law. That is not what this is all about. This is about letting the witnesses and letting the documents, not the lawyers. Hindi naman ito pagalingan ng lawyer, no? Or pagwapuhan ng lawyer. This is about the strength of testimonial and documentary evidence. And sabi nga ni Senator Bamakino, you let this evidence speak for themselves. Don't make it a matter of debate. And that has always been the admission of Presiding Officer Cheese when he says to the lawyers, let's not debate this point. Go straight to the question. Or when he tells the witness, answer directly. No? So.
Kay Haji.
Okay, Haji Kaaminyo po sa Brigada News FM. Speaking of emotional instability, hindi po ba para makakatulong sana perhaps one of the closest aides ni VP Sara si Attorney Zuleika Lopez na o ma-affirm or ma-attest po niya na yung character or yung naging emotional, yung temperament po ni VP Sara during that madaling araw po ng November 23, 2024 since sila po yung magkatabi dun sa kung saan po siya na-detain.
Well, the if she were an unbiased witness, yes. No? But as you can see from her record, she has been with the Vice President, then as Vice Mayor, then as Mayor, and now up to now. Answer your question. You think she's going to say, my boss is mentally unstable or emotionally damaged? I think that would not be fair to ask her that question because obviously we know the answer.
Okay. Last question na lang po. So kahit po marami pong naging tanong yung Senator Judges kanina, lalong-lalo na po kay Attorney Jeremy Lotok with regards to his halimbawa po yung tanong po ni Senator Robin dun sa mga cases po na kinahaharap po niya, and then yun pong tanong po ni Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano sa kanya. Hindi naman po na-diminish yung credibility ni Attorney Lotok at confident po kayo na sina Kalilong at saka si Lotok sapat na po para hindi na nga i-present sina Zuleika and Belinda Bello po.
In fact, we welcome, and we're very grateful that the senator judges and all of those names that you mentioned asked the questions because it gave the witnesses, our two witnesses, the opportunity to explain more. And it became clearer. So nagpapasalamat kami na nagtanong ang mga senator judges. No? Because when the senator judges ask questions, hindi makaka-object ang prosecution or defense. So they have wide latitude, and including the presiding judge, has wide latitude in asking questions, which is not what happens kung prosecution or defense ang magtanong kasi may objections, objection sustained or objection overruled. So nagpapahaba yun. So we really are grateful for the questions being asked by or propounded by the senator judges. And because of that, that led us to our decision. If you can see, nag-huddle kami, Nag-huddle kami, and it took very short. Although pinag-aaralan na namin to daily. We had a very short huddle, and it was a collective decision of the public prosecutors in charge of this article and the private prosecutors to say it is not necessary. So it was a collective, collegial decision. And it was easy for us. And we thank the defense and the senator judges for paving the way for us to make a clear decision on dispensing with these two witnesses. So siguro hindi na tayo aabot ng Valentine's hanggang Christmas na lang tayo dito.
Mag-press lang po ako dun sa issue po ng ma'am. Yes po.
Hi.
Will it be disadvantageous po for the prosecution team kung ipepresent pa po si Attorney Kapunan since na-establish na po yung... si Attorney Lopez.
Huwag niyo naman i-present si Atty. Kapunan.
Sorry, si Attorney Lopez po sa witness stand.
No, as a matter of fact, this is not a preempt, but in our pre-trial order, nakalista.
But
si
for the
in our
other...
pre-trial order, she is listed in some other article.
So, sa article lang po na grave threats and inciting to sedition po siya tinanggal. Pero it remains po sa iba pa pong article. So, pwede pa po siyang maipatawag sa iba pa pong article. Tama po ba?
Well, in the pre-trial order, kasi nasa pre-trial brief namin yun ng prosecution, at minention rin yan sa pre-trial order. So, it will be a matter of discussion with the public prosecutors when and if Attorney Lopez will be presented for some other article. Kasi she is really listed as a witness.
Since drenap nyo na po sa list of witnesses po si Attorney Lopez and si retired Captain Bello po, dito po sa article na ito, standing pa rin naman po yung pong request nyo po na maipatawag si VP Duterte sa article po na ito? Kasi po, di ba, nag-manifest po kayo last week?
Yes. As regards this article, it will be a matter of study. But there are 3 more articles. There are 3 more articles, and we don't want to discuss the merits. Baka ma-subjudice ako dito. But that is a matter of strategy.
But for this particular article po, ito pong grave threats and inciting to sedition, you're not considering na po si VP Duterte na ipatawag yung formal manifestation niyo or motion sa Senate Impeachment Court?
We will defer to the decision of the public prosecutors kasi we're just private prosecutors. And but if I were asked, it is not necessary for this article.
I see. Thank you po.
But that is my opinion. It depends on the public prosecutors.
Okay, Ms. Milky.
Magandang gabi po. Milky Rigonan of DSRH. Attorney Kapunan, kailan po nabuo yung decision ng prosecution not to call on the witness stand si Attorney Zuleika Lopez? Or is this really the strategy of the prosecution?
No, as a matter of strategy, well, it is, I don't think it is, every day we evaluate, every day. Since this is a continuing trial, we evaluate what happened during the day and what will happen the next day. So this was a continuing evaluation. But it really depended on what would have transpired today. And it was after today, the nature of the cross-examination, the depth of the questions of the senator judges, and the clarity of the redirect examination that cemented our evaluation that it was no longer necessary. And that's why we needed the huddle, although sinabi ko hurdle. We needed the huddle. So that was it's not like we decided in 5 minutes, no. It was just a confirmation. We had to get the decision of the public prosecutors and the collective sense of the private prosecutors.
Attorney Kapunan, pakisagot lang po yung posisyon ng ilang mga lawyers na kapag natuloy sa witness stand si Attorney Kapunan, si Attorney
Parang gusto niyo,
Pangalawa na yan.
parang gusto niyo akong i-convict, ha?
si Attorney Lopez, ma'am, baka daw backfire sa prosecution. This is dangerous daw, kung sakasakali.
We would have been able to handle it because the truth will always out, no? The truth or falsity of whatever it is will always come out. As I said, there still is. She is listed in some other article, and that day may come or may not come when she will again be subpoenaed.
Thank you po. May tanong si Isa.
Opo, last question na lang po. Nabanggit niyo po kanina na dapat kayo po yung mag-handle kay Attorney Zuleika Lopez. Hindi po ba kayo nanghihinayang na matanong siya patungkol po dito sa Article 4?
Oo nga. Nanghihinayang nga ako. Manonood na lang ako ng Netflix mamayang gabi kasi parang, well, I had wanted to do it. I had wanted to do it because I've never backed off from a challenge. And to me, it's very important that the truth must out, no? And I felt that with my years of experience, I could do it. But again, as I said, if you watched my manifestation earlier, we should know when to stop. And that was earlier when I said, enough na, stop na. And that is the pitfall. Sometimes we just love to listen to ourselves. That's the pitfall of some lawyers. No? not realizing that hours and hours of cross-examination. The best rule in cross-examination is don't cross. Don't cross. If you have nothing to ask, don't cross. Or if the witness is an intelligent or competent witness, do not cross-examine too long because you will give the witness an opportunity to explain himself or herself. And that's what I think happened today. It was slow-paced, it was too long, and I don't think it contributed to their cause.
Okay. Hello.
I have a message po sa inyo pong kliyente si Bea Alonso po, na ikinasal na po.
I wish you well, Bea. People are asking, did I make the prenuptial agreement? Actually, I wish I did.
Witness po kayo doon sa kanila?
Where did you get that?
We're just confirming.
No, I was not. But, kwentuhan mo nga ako nun. Sino ba yun?
Alright.
Sana yun
Alright.
na lang ang prinesko natin dito.
Alright, on that note, pwede kayo magkwentuhan later, but
A prenup? I really have no personal knowledge, but, well, putting on my lawyer's hat, I advise all of you girls here, don't get married.
alright. On that note, thank you, Attorney, for giving us clarity on these issues. Salamat.